What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome into the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and taking over today on a little episode all about Keon Coleman potentially becoming a second-year standout. Now, I'm sure that you've probably thought this before, but Josh Allen actually sounded off and was talking a little bit about Coleman and the progression that he has seen throughout the offseason so far. Now, I do want to get into what Allen said about Keon Coleman, but this is ridiculous. This cannot be the case in June. So here is what I've got to ask you to do. We've only got 69 subscribers in June so far. That's unacceptable. We are getting slaughtered by Patriots Today. So do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you have, type me in the comment section down below. I want to see where my real ones are at. Help us catch up to the Patriots. All right, so Josh Allen basically was sitting down in an interview and said, here's what I see from Keon Coleman entering into year two. All I can say is he's 100% taking this seriously. He's bigger right now. He's faster. He's stronger. He understands the playbook better. I think we're talking more. Our communication has been a lot better. We're still learning about how we can better each other, where certain balls can be thrown. But again, he's a stud, and I've said this for a long time. That is why I wanted him here. Now, let's just talk a little bit about what Keon Coleman was able to do last year. You know, coming out of Florida State, second-round pick, there were high hopes that he could take over for Stefon Diggs when Stefon left to go play for the Houston Texans. Now, he did miss a little bit of time last year. In Week 9, he suffered that little ankle injury against the Dolphins, and reports have been indicating that over the offseason, he has put on more size to be more durable. That is what the Bills training staff has kind of been preaching to him. We need you to be healthy for the entirety of the season if you're going to take that next step. And last year, I'm not going to lie to you, his numbers were completely underwhelming. I mean, this is not nearly good enough to become a number one wide receiver. And if you take a player that early in the second round, I don't care what anybody says, he is supposed to be your number one wide receiver. Hell, these are like not even good enough wide receiver 2 numbers. These are like wide receiver 3 numbers, if you were to ask me. So I look at his production last year. The speed of the game was clearly something that he struggled with. He did not look fast at all last season. So it's clear to me that he had one of the most underwhelming seasons of any rookie wide receiver last year, and I don't think that's much of a stretch to say. I mean, it was awful. Like, it was just terrible. Take a look at some of the other rookies that he was up against. Now, again, can you compare Keon Coleman to a guy like Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr.? I don't think so. I don't think that's fair. But let's just take a look at some of the production numbers that the rookie wide receivers had last season. Malik Neighbors had 109 receptions for 1,200 yards. Okay, kind of an outlier. Shove him out the door. Same with Brian Thomas Jr. They play different styles of the game. But Keon Coleman and Rome Odunze are very similar players. They stretch the field. They're, long ball shots. They can, go up at the point of attack, come down with strong hands, locate the football, and make contested catches. They have a very similar style of play. Rome Odunze knocked them out of the park last year. Had more receptions, more yards, more touchdowns. So I look at this and I say, Keon's got some work to do. And Rome Odunze was competing, by the way, last year with the likes of DJ Moore and with Keenan Allen. So I do want to at least briefly mention that this isn't an entire episode all slamming Keon Coleman, right? I feel like that's unfair. I don't want to sit here and be the guy that's like, well, he sucked last year, because he didn't suck. He just was kind of underwhelming. There were high expectations for Keon Coleman, and he just didn't meet them. Now, I will give him credit for this. His big playability was on display last year. He averaged 19.2 yards per reception. That was 4th in the NFL. So there are some really good things about Keon Coleman's game. When he catches the football, they are for chunk yardages. And again, not a player that I think will ever be an 85 to 100 reception type of player. It's just not his game. But should he be somewhere between 50 and 75 receptions for around 1,000 yards and 7 or 8 touchdowns? Absolutely. For where you took him, that should be what your goal is this upcoming season. I would say 60 receptions, at least 900 yards, at least find the end zone 5 times. Those are the minimum numbers. So, and I feel like that would be a breakout year for him. That's just my opinion. You can disagree with me in the comment section down below, but do you think that Keon Coleman will have a breakout year? Yes or no? Let me know, like I said, in the comment section down below. All right, coming up here, I do want to mention one minicamp riser that I feel like has not been getting enough love. And the reason I say this is because he's got such a great attitude. He works his ass off, and he's actually been noticed around Bills minicamp this year, especially as a player that could take the next step and see some more snaps and see a bigger role heading into 2025. Now, his name, obviously, you guys know who he is, Joe Andreessen. And one of the things that I will say about Andreessen is that his ability to play on special teams, his versatility, is something that is completely underrated. And last year, that's where you saw the majority of where he played. But the Bills defensive coordinator, Babbage, I just caught something in my throat there, was talking about what he saw from Joe during the Bills minicamp. And he said, second year, he's making strides that a second-year player should make. There are certain things that he's got to improve upon, but Joe is Joe. Joe works his butt off. He doesn't say a word. He's a smart player, and we'll, kind of see where it goes. Now, last year, like I said, most of the time, Andreessen was playing on special teams. And he did appear in 13 games, made 26 tackles, had 1 TFL. His PFF grade was really good. I think that, what you saw last year warranted at least consideration for a higher role in 2025. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. He's got a ways to go. But could there be an opportunity where he slides in as a rotational, middle linebacker behind Terrell Bernard? Absolutely. And I think that you could be looking at a guy that plays in all 17 games and sees more and more snaps. He's got the speed that you're looking for. He's got the strength that you're looking for. He works his ass off. He's a head-down player, no nonsense, wants to get better, and has proven to not only the coaching staff, but to the other players. I mean, hell, there was a report that he picked off Josh Allen in minicamp, and the players went nuts after it happened, I should say, excuse me. So I'm going to ask you this question. He's just one player. Is there a Bills breakout candidate in 2025 that you believe has the opportunity to take the next step? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, before we end today's episode, our June sub battle looks like this. Patriots Today is kicking the you-know-what out of the Bills breakdown. I need you to hit that subscribe button. It is completely free. We will never charge you a thing. Lock us in. Remember to like the video, and as always, be cool.